Tiny, first off, I want to thank you for showing me a man on YouTube narrowing his butthole.
You're welcome.
In all of its everything. Like there was no, like it was just right there.
Yep.
And there was just as much butthole time as there was FaceTime.
It had a good balance,
in the video. And I think the most frustrating part of it is I got a really good idea of what it would be like to nair my butthole.
Yeah, I mean,
it was educational.
It was. The whole point of me showing you that video was to tell you that I bought us all a tube of nair.
And that's what we're doing
today.
All right, Austin, open up.
Wink.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dane Holland.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer.
And I'm Austin Tiny Zent.
And we are Nerd It Through the Grapevine, the podcast where three best friends this week gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. I've been playing a lot of video games lately, and we like to come up with things a lot and just randomly make things in our own universe. So I was thinking, why haven't we come up with our own video game yet? We've come up with our own movies and our own, little universe.
Yeah, and our own superheroes.
Superheroes, everything. Like Badane was the most recent superhero I think that we've come up with.
Our own wrestling federation.
Yep. We've come up with so many things. I think it's time that we make our own video game. And to start it off, I was thinking, okay, well, we could just take something that already exists in our universe that we've created and then turn it into a video game. So we've already got some marketing, right? That it's already been out there. I think if It's Just Dogs were a game, because I know the thing itself is like, well, it wasn't a video game, was it?
It was an anime.
It was
about being
anime,
trapped in a video game.
Trapped in a video game. But if we make the video game itself, I think it would sell really well with the popularity of the anime itself.
Yeah.
So in that sense, does it have to be an RPG? If It's Just Dogs, well, I guess we should remind people what It's Just Dogs is for those that haven't listened to the episode of It's Just Dogs. Austin, I think you should take the reins of that.
I don't remember.
No, you remember.
It's Just Dogs is an anime that I had coined the phrase It's Just Dogs for because that's why they're in this world. They go into this game that is called Dog Eat Dog. It's called Dead. And basically it's just like your, I don't know, if you think about like your Apex Legends. Is that what it's called? Apex Legends?
Like a battle royale?
It's like a battle royale style thing, except you're on your team.
Right.
Or your Overwatch, where everybody's got their character and you're all on one team having to do this and that. And in that, they were going against what was supposed to happen in Overwatch, which was the PvE.
Right.
They were fighting against a Liger Brigade in there. And as Marcus's character, who was a lightning mage chihuahua powered by his own anxiety.
Yes.
He cast a lightning spell that ended up striking at the most perfect time for them to both be, for everybody in the party to be both damaged, but also to glitch the system. And instead of it just shutting off their systems and glitching them out and them just waking up and, getting out of the game, they actually get sucked into the game.
Right.
And when they look into the game and they realize like everything is totally different, that's their, the first reaction is it's not our world, it's just dogs.
So, and when everyone sees this anime, or they've already heard it and already got excited about its existence, which, is only in our Grapevine universe, but that's okay. You can now be in the game at home on your gaming systems. And I think it probably does need to be RPG-like, but with some of that battle royale PvE kind of flavor to it.
Yeah, and I don't want to limit. I don't want to limit things.
Well, are we going PvE or PvP? Because they're two very different things.
I think it could be.
You can blend the two.
Yeah, I think it could be like your Elden Ring style, to where it's PvE and occasional PvP.
Well, because like in was it Exo Primal, that new game that I've been playing? I played a little bit of it. I haven't played it in a minute. But so you're with teammates, like other people playing online. and you're going through these different checkpoints in the game trying to eliminate this hordes of dinosaurs in a faster amount of time than another team that's also playing against you. So you're not interacting with that other team yet. It's just you versus the environment and the other team versus the environment. And then after that section is over with, then it's a PvE and PvP situation to where both teams are fighting against each other and the environment itself is introducing dinosaurs. So it's like a blend, which I haven't really messed with before because usually, like you said, it's usually one or the other. But I like this idea of the blend of the two. And I think one of the coolest parts in any game for me is creating a character. So at the very beginning, creating your dog would be probably the most fun that I would have playing the game.
I would like for there to be no exclusions as to what dogs can play what class. I think that if you pick inappropriate breeds for said class, that it might make it more difficult. But if you're able to accomplish it, it would be awesome. So,
are you talking about like a Chihuahua barbarian?
Absolutely.
Type thing?
If you can make it work.
Because
why not?
Because if you think like a berserker style war, like a barbarian with like this berserker style, like twin axes or something like that, something small and psychotic speed going everywhere would be, kind of cool. Or you could have like a Shih Tzu playing a tank to where they're like they're like a paladin or something.
Well, it's like in a lot of games, whenever you look at like the race of the character or type of alien or whatever, they have their own little abilities. It's like, okay, you're going to get a boost to strength if you play this race of, like a orc or something. So in this, like just like with those games, you can make a small creature, but with a job that requires someone large, but you're just having to play against the game itself to try to get there. And the idea of being a Chihuahua playing a tank, that's totally how I would like go after a game like that. Is this shouldn't be, but I'm going to make it be.
Or like a Great Dane playing a rogue.
Yeah.
Like the most graceful of the dog breeds, as you're there it is, words well aware of. That got my tongue all twisted.
Are you sure they're graceful? Because I've seen them just.
Oh, that was a sarcasm.
It was
okay.
Definite
I was
sarcasm.
Just making sure.
Because I could see a Great Dane, even in a fictitious world, to where they might even have like an ability to hold something like a sword with their dog paw. I could see a Great Dane holding lockpicks, just being like, and somebody in the house opens the door. What the hell?
It worked. It worked. I got it open.
Because it's just out there making big groof whine. Just.
I don't know. I kind of envision in my head a Neapolitan Mastiff being a bard, because I just think that'd be hilarious.
I just see a strawberry vanilla chocolate dog.
Okay, you know what a Mastiff is.
Yes,
large dog.
Big,
okay,
big boy.
It's the one with all the jowls. It looks like you left the dog in the car too long and it's melting like a chocolate bar.
Oh,
that dog,
like the one that, which I don't know if you've seen the Harry Potter movies, but the one that Hagrid's dog was.
No, he was a boarhound, but in the same family. Am I the only one that ever watched the Westminster Dog Show growing up?
I
watch
see it
some now, but didn't watch it growing up.
Okay, so it's the dog that takes 3 people to hold the jowls up, and so one person can look at the teeth. That dog.
Okay.
Like, think of a Shar-Pei, but to the nth degree as far as wrinklies.
Dang.
Yeah.
Sounds like a gynecologist had a nightmare.
What?
Dude, it looks like a hand grenade went off in a deli counter. Not gonna lie.
What class did you want this thing to play?
A bard.
A bard?
Because I feel like doom metal would be perfectly appropriate for this dog. I'll show y'all a picture.
Yeah.
Just so y'all can understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, in all the RPGs that we play in this world.
Tell me that's not doom metal as a dog.
He's got more jowl than he does head. That's incredible.
Yeah,
he looks like somebody on the end of The Biggest Loser whenever they're showing their weight loss transformation. He just
much.
all sorts of Shar-Pei skin hanging everywhere. He was like a giant Shar-Pei with a floppier face.
Yeah, it's like when you're a little kid and you wear your daddy's clothes that are 10 sizes too big.
Yeah.
It's that.
That's
but
its face skin.
It's its skin. It has the skin of a dog 10 times its size.
Well, and you could throw those jowls on any dog, and it's just dogs, because when you're doing your character creation, it's not a person, it's a dog. So there's a jowl setting that you have.
Well,
You should be able to
here's
do
what
whatever.
here's what I'm seeing in my head. Okay, so it kind of brings in a little D&D stats. So, like, if you pick the Neo Mastiff, for instance, I think you would get like a +1 to your intimidation stat just because of your face.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And then you'd probably get a plus to your strength, but you would not have good speed, not have good, I could say you can also get a +1 to charisma, but that'd be all your pluses for that breed.
I think charisma for all of the dogs is just maxed out because they're dogs. It's like they should all have the highest of charismas to me.
I mean, dogs can do absolutely stupid shit, and it's just they're so cute. Like Millie, she'll pounce on faces in order to give appropriate kisses, and it is sometimes painful. And would we like any other creature to do something like that? Nope. No. Millie gets to do that. Willie is a 30-pound cannonball.
He protected me from Austin yesterday by jumping, doing a 180, and just slamming down on my body while I was lying on the couch. He protected me from him by doing a cannonball.
I was trying to get him riled up enough to where he would actually jump on Dane, trying to protect him, and it worked.
Yeah.
He literally did. He murphed at me. He did a big 180, and he landed his whole body to jump back at me on Dane to force.
Father, I need leverage.
Father, bounce me.
So, okay, it's kind of on topic. So, if you had to assign a D&D style class to your dog, what would it be?
Ooh, this is good.
For people that don't know, I have a red-nosed pit bull. Mm-hmm. She's 80 pounds of love and terror.
Yeah.
And I see her as a wizard because the other day she made me feel like my house was haunted.
Ouch.
Okay, so I'm sitting there playing some Gmod, and she's sitting beside me on my couch because I have a couch in my computer so my dog can ride shotgun because she has to be near Dad.
Yes.
Okay. So she's sitting, looking over the back of the couch towards nothing. Like, there's kitchen and bathroom back that direction, but there's no windows or nothing. She sat like that for almost an hour and a half, just staring, not moving. She was breathing. And then when she was done staring, she cowered and shook in my lap like she was horrified at what she saw for probably a good 2 hours.
I just got nervous.
And then, not only that night when I went to sleep, because, she sleeps in the bed with me as all good dogs should.
Yes.
I woke up at like 1 a.m. after having a dream that my house was haunted.
Oh, no.
And when I woke up, I looked around, and my dog is sitting at the edge of the bed looking in the same direction she was looking earlier.
Honey, I'm scared. I don't like this. This makes me scared.
And then the thought that went through my mind was, because this was a Sunday, and I was like, well, if the mean ghost kills me, that means I don't have to go to work tomorrow. And I went back to sleep.
Peacefully, more peaceful than you did before. Even.
Exactly. So my dog's some kind of wizard that can see into the other realm.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good. Wizard or sorcerer?
Either or,
yeah.
or maybe warlock, because warlocks
yeah.
have patrons.
Yeah.
I would go with warlock.
Okay.
And she would probably be, her patron would probably be the Great Old One.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I think Willie would probably be a paladin because he is a protector to the nth degree, and also he does worship me as his entity. So I think it makes perfect sense that he just he thinks everything is a threat, and he thinks all things are going to try to harm me. So I think he would definitely be paladin and he's more shield than he is sword by far. Because yeah, I don't know if he would actually attack anything, because whenever he was in the front yard one night when Carly was letting him out to use the bathroom, she like saw a couple sets of glowing eyes in the yard in the dark, and he started barking and running directly up to her, just like terrified, barking at her while running up the stairs. And normally he would bark at the thing and run at the thing. It's what he does. He barks at things, he runs at things, but when there's actual danger, he just runs away from it and goes, "Run away, Mom!" Just trying to protect her as much as he could instead of going after them, which was really smart. I was glad he did that.
Go ahead. I was going to say it was a bark mixed in with a meow. I don't know how he would do it, because he would bark. He would be like, "Woof, woof."
Well, see, he wasn't running in terror. He had to make sure that his owner, his mom, was secure.
Yes.
So he's trying to get her in the house, and then he might have returned to action had he been left outside.
He turns around, goes Super Saiyan, and just takes care of the situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, she got him inside, though, so we didn't get to see him go full blonde.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, but I think definitely fits Paladin, for sure. What about Millie?
Millie's a rogue.
Yeah?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, half the time whenever Millie goes missing, it's just because Millie's decided she's gone missing. Literally.
She likes to, she has hiding spots to where she'll just stay still as much as she can while you're looking for her.
Yeah, she won't even wag her tail until she sees your eyes. She won't make a noise. She will be she'll be a rug made of Shih Tzu that is not, it's not alive, because you listen for Millie and you listen for that little tail flap. You say her name, "Millie, where are you? Millie, Millie." You thap, 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 thap. Okay. When she's in hide mode, you don't know where she is. She could be in the same room with you and you haven't locked eyes with her, and she's not going to say a word.
See, she is a shadow. She's a little blonde shadow.
And also, if she gets anything, she has to destroy it to get to the inside of it, in order to, just like, picking all of your locks on your chests or getting into different doors and compartments, except she's going to break the lock instead of, pick the lock.
Yeah. So it would be really hard to make a different dog if I were to get this game. Like, I would just have to make Willie first, and then it'd be like, okay, now maybe I can make another dog, but I'd get halfway through that and go, nah, I just want to play Willie instead.
Yeah,
let him be in
that.
it. And then all of our dogs could go together into this world.
Absolutely.
And do these things, because in the real world, Willie doesn't want anything to do with Nola, and that makes me very upset.
Yeah, he would not.
Nola would love to play with him.
Nola wants to do nothing more than play with everything else.
Yeah.
And pretty much everything else is like, no, I'm good. Because she just gets so amped up about it. Like, her whole body shakes with the excitation.
Yep. And this would fulfill a dream for me, to where my dog actually wants to play with other dogs.
And Millie's not really necessarily got a problem with things. It's just that she's selective in a weird way. Like, she can love everybody in a room except one person. And that one person will draw all of her hatred for the entirety of the next 15, 20 minutes until she's accepted that this person's not going anywhere. Just like the other day at the shop, whenever she was screaming at Poppy, just laying down on the couch. We had like five or six people just hanging around, talking and having a good time. She's everybody's best friend, just jumping up on laps, giving love, giving kisses against their will. And then Poppy shows up, and she doesn't like anybody anymore. She is just fully dedicated to sitting on the couch in a full body locked position, just going, "Ah."
Well, she'd be able to detect evil in this.
I even said that. Yeah. I said, dogs can understand people, and if the dog doesn't like somebody, generally that means they're a bad person. I was told many choice words, and I said, you're doing nothing more than proving the point.
Nothing better after you say a dog knows when you're a good person, and she's sitting there growling and hating on him, and then he's just a symphony of profanity is the only thing that he responds with, and you just, well, there's my point.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Oh. So we've got the character creation's pretty down, right? So we choose a class, and then we get to make own breed, and then customize jowls and tail length and stuff like that. But where does it start in the world?
I think first we have to determine, are they quadrupeds like real dogs, or are they bipedal?
I think
Because we've never stated.
I think you should get to do both, and I think both have their own benefits and downsides.
Okay, I
right?
feel like if you do both, then there should be a separation between worlds, because being bipedal, you get so many more benefits than quadrupedal, because you can get bigger, crazier weapons that you're able to handle easier.
Right.
I believe that
So I think it'd be different game modes.
I believe that quad mode would be an unlockable feature.
Yeah.
To where you're bipedal, you're having to go through the actions just like anything else, except you're a dog.
Yeah.
And then there are unlockable things revolving around your specified classes that you'd benefit more from by having 4 legs.
Well, why can't, like, if you want to dual wield, okay, you got to be bipedal. And at that point, you're not as fast, right?
Ooh.
So, like, anytime your character wants to run, anytime your dog wants to run, you got to go 4 legs. And then you can hold one weapon in your mouth. And then, but anytime you want to do any 2-handed weapons, like a broadsword kind of thing, or I don't know, maybe in this they just have sticks.
Okay.
So you had a light bulb.
I had a light bulb when you started talking. Okay. So you know how werewolves work?
Yeah, my dad.
So there's like an overdrive mode that works kind of like werewolves.
Yeah.
So they go. So most of the time they're quadrupedal. Okay? Then when they hit, like, I don't know, call it overdrive or some shit, you push this button combination, and then they werewolf style morph into bipedal, and for X amount of time they get to be bipedal and do like dual wieldy waylay stuff. Yeah. But then after that time runs out and they run out of
dog
MP
juice.
or dog juice or whatever, they, run out of water, or they got to go outside and potty, then they go back to quadrupedal.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
That would actually work really well.
Yeah.
And you can have, because the transformation process on there would be a lot like playing Kingdom Hearts, to where Sora has 1 blade.
Okay.
Sora fights with 1 blade in a single blade style fashion. Whenever Sora, that's the main character of Kingdom Hearts. Tiny, I don't know if you ever played it.
Big yellow shoes.
When Sora gets certain, either you're using magic and you've built up X amount of magical pressure, or you're using melee and you've built up X amount of physical pressure, you can transform into extra forms to where he's now able to like fly with the magic stuff, and he's got 2 different keyblades, and you program which ones you use. And in the other one, he's more of a rage-filled form, a red form that's more powerful on his melee attacks with 2 keyblades. So it could be that same kind of idea, except going from quadrupedal to bipedal.
Well, you mentioned like is going to have MP or whatever, but I'm thinking like treats are going to take place of one of those things, right?
Yeah.
Like where magic points, like where they have to consume treats. And if you don't spend the energy from those treats, then once you build up enough of it, you can transform and use all your treat energy to become this, bipedal beast. But what would the other thing be that's not treats? What else do they want?
I mean, you can, I don't know. Gosh.
Pets, but then again, it's just other dogs. Like you're not getting pets.
I think walkies.
Walkies, yeah.
Because I don't know about y'all, but my dog loves to be outside and go for a walk. And she wants to pee everywhere outside.
Or nappies.
Well,
nappies too.
Ooh, like thunder rolls or something. I don't know. Just, the waller and their
zoomies.
Feet are all.
Zoomies. That's what I was going to say. Just like
zoomie is the ability. That's the transform.
That's an ability.
When you transform into zoomies, then you get to be
depending on your class.
Okay.
One class you go bipedal, so that's your fighter, your barbarian, your paladin. Okay.
Yep.
And then for like rogue, you get zoomies, so it depends on your class what your special ability is.
Just like in the anime that we made on air, Dane voiced a character who was a German Shepherd named Shep.
Yes.
And he was a rogue. When Shep got the zoomies, he had supersonic speed. So therefore he was definitely going into a quadrupedal mode to get there.
You're right. So yeah, the zoomies affect you. There's zoomies, and then there's I don't know what is it. It's a barbarian like rage.
Yeah,
but I don't know what it would be.
I would like to rage now
with dogs, because we say they got the zoomies, and then I don't know, just turn into bad boy. Like when you go bad boy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's also breed dependent. You know, because Like my Pitty, she's different from every other breed that I've ever seen. So I call it going twitchy. She get kind of low, and her head gets really wide and flat, and her ears go back, and she puffs her chest up and she twitches.
She sounds more like a dinosaur.
like she's ready to go.
Yeah. Willie just kind of, I don't know. He growls and yells at so many things. You don't really know when he's going into beast mode or not. But I think it would just be beast mode and zoomies between the two, probably.
I think that Willie has a build up zoomie that happens every time somebody leaves the house.
Yes,
because he does have X amount of build up. Like it's for every person. So say like I leave the house and I'm gone for 20 minutes. He'll be excited to see me when I come back.
Oh yeah,
it'll be a Murph shuffle. Okay, say I'm gone for an hour and a half to 2 hours. It is full blown screaming
at you until you go love him in a specific spot on the couch to where he stands. And Austin, like he will stand on that point of the couch and scream at Austin until he goes and tells him to be tall.
He got so into the scream today that he yawned in the middle of screaming and it turned into a howl.
Yeah, he sounded like a husky.
He said, "Ow!" I'm like, why?
That's another good ability.
Howl?
The howl. Like
yeah.
It's almost like a sonic
intimidation
blast.
too. Like you can intimidate with it.
Depending on your class.
Well, I was thinking
types of howls.
You mentioned the 20-minute thing, like because if I walk out of the house for 3 minutes and come back in, it's like I've been gone for 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean you're dead though.
I am, and dogs like their sense of time it doesn't really exist. So I think in the game, a sense of time needs to be messed with a little bit somehow.
I
right?
don't subscribe to that theory.
No.
Because my dog knows when I'm going to work. She knows the days.
Yeah.
And she knows what time it is because I get up earlier on the days I work. They know.
Oh,
they might not know
patterns.
Exactly to the hour.
Yeah.
But they know what time it is.
They're good with patterns. But I'm thinking like when they go to sleep and wake up, like they have no idea time-wise, like what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know the difference
Which
between
is
3:30 and 6:30.
Right. So I think like in the game, well, that would make sense more because in games, a lot of times the time moves like quicker to where like the daytime and nighttime, I would like a daytime, nighttime cycle in this game for sure. Because games that don't do that, it's kind of like, I don't know, it takes you out of it a little bit. So in this, that actually brings an in-game lore to why the days and night cycles are so fast because you don't want to run it like the same as the real world. Like if I'm playing at night, I don't want to always be playing at night in the game.
Right.
So it makes sense that the days and nights go quicker. So that's good. I'm trying to figure out because in every game you start somewhere, right? I mean, you've got to start at the beginning, and in like a D&D campaign, you usually meet in a tavern or something like that, or a campfire, or you've all been captured. And in like Skyrim, you have been arrested, and you wake up in the back of the cart, which all the memes have driven into the ground.
Okay. You said Skyrim.
Yeah.
And it's very Skyrim-esque.
Yes,
okay?
in my head I see
because,
very Skyrim-esque.
All right, you got to follow me here.
Oh, I'm with you.
So puppies are born to a mama doggy.
Yeah.
And then after, a couple of weeks, their eyes open?
Yes.
It starts when their eyes open as pups. And they're like...
So you're finally awake.
Yeah, exactly. A similar statement, so you're finally awake.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, shit, this is what mom looks like.
And in the tutorial, you learn all these things as a puppy.
Yeah.
Like your abilities and stuff. You go through the tutorial of how to control the dog that you're playing and them as a puppy.
I think that you should have different learned behaviors.
Yeah?
I think different learned behaviors.
Okay.
Just because based off of your experiences throughout your life, if you're starting from the time your eyes open, all your different experiences you've went through in the game build up to stuff later on in the game that you're going to be able to use, like your learned experiences.
Okay.
Like say there's fire or something like that, and you've been burned or something previously as a puppy.
Okay.
Because you got too close to like a stove or an oven or something, or like somebody opened the oven and then you walked into it or something stupid like that. You dog.
Hey, dog.
That is a fear of mine that I will open up the oven and Millie will just decide,
Just
ooh, a
hop
new
in.
ledge.
She knows hot.
Does she?
Well, that is a very good point.
So, I mean, learn behavior, something that you could happen to you in your adolescence as a puppy that will later on affect the gameplay for you. Could be a positive or a negative, actually.
Yeah, I like whenever things about your character in a game change from the game itself. Like you don't consciously make them have this later, weakness to like a certain enemy or whatever. It's because a decision you made earlier on has now caused you to have a negative effect later on. Like you can make a decision if you're creating character, like you don't want to learn how to swim. You don't want to take the time to learn how to swim or the experience points to learn how to swim. So later on, all of a sudden, it's like in Sonic, you get underwater and all of a sudden you just fall to the bottom. Like you cannot swim. But if you do spend the experience points to swim, then now you can travel through water and another character can't.
Yeah.
But, that does make me think, okay, with these dogs, they live forever. Like there is an aging system in it, but you become old and wise, and then you become an elder of the dog community. All the dogs live forever in this game. But you can fight me on that. I don't think anybody wants to fight me on that.
I think that
right?
I thought all dogs went to heaven.
I don't want them
this is digital.
I
heaven.
don't want them to
okay.
die, but I think that the very end of the game, as your dog has aged appropriately throughout X amount of time that you've been in there, I think once it's time for your dog to no longer be around, instead of dying, you actually cross a portal and it has you walking the Rainbow Bridge.
Ascend to godhood,
Ascend
doghood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you start over as a new puppy.
And
Walk
then your
across-
previous character is like a deity that can like guide you towards certain things. And that way you can pick certain attributes of a character before by following their lead in the game. Because you can see the travel, like in Zelda, there's a thing where you can see where you've traveled in the game, like where your footsteps have gone. And for you to be able to see where the previous dog that you had played traveled in the game, that's where you can choose to go do certain things to get attributes that they had also gotten. But once you do that, then the path kind of dissipates, and then you have to go on your own after that. But you do get to pick something from the previous dog that you had played to go towards yours. If you want. You don't have to do it that way.
Yeah,
But
I like this idea.
I think it's a cool way to have little pieces of the dog that you played before still be imbued in the new one that you have.
Well, yeah, because you're going to use similar training methods in real life for your dogs.
And you can always go see them hanging out together because they
can be playing poker like that picture.
Yes. That's perfect. That's a mini game.
Yeah.
We got to talk about mini games too.
Heck yeah.
There's the poker has to be in it. Fetch. I mean, even though there's no people to throw the ball, dogs even play fetch with themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
So fetch has to be something. What would be like Final Fantasy? What was the ball game that they played?
Blitzball.
Blitzball. What is the game that you can play in this? That's like the sports game that a lot of the dogs get super into.
Track race.
What do you think it would be? Would it be track racing?
Yeah,
just racing.
You're having to follow along in that blitzball style tournament area to where gravity doesn't matter, and you're following a track though that has a speeding rabbit on there, and you're having to chase that rabbit all through different obstacles and all through different various landscapes and gravity levels, and you're having to jump off of this platform to the left that's slightly angled just so you can get to the aerial platform on the right that's at a different angle and bounce back and forth to try to chase after this rabbit.
So it's like racing mixed with an agility course.
Yes.
Is it class based? So like, let's say if you play the rogue, that is the kind of sport that is in this world that your rogue is going to be better at. But if you're the bard, let's say the bard, then there's kind of like a Westminster thing to where you're just there, like a talent show almost.
Well, no,
no.
It could be the same game, but your stats are different for that. So, like, if you're a barbarian, you're going to have more durability. So, during crashes and collisions, you're not going to accrue as much damage.
Gotcha.
If you're a rogue, you're going to be faster. Just things like that. So you can incorporate your previous stats into this.
Okay. So it's kind of like Mario Kart, how each character has a little bit of different stats. Like they're not crazy different from each other, but they're just enough that if you like to drift a lot, this is the kind of one that you're going to want to be in this. So it's it's like the Iron Man races to where there's multiple things going on in it, right? Yeah. You've got the rabbit chase, and then there could be swimming because puppies like to swim a lot. So there's a swimming section. Okay. So it's like the Iron Dog competition.
Well,
yeah.
We also have to talk about enemies.
Yeah, we
You know,
haven't even gotten into
so,
enemies yet.
I mean, in my mind so far, we've got the red dot of doom, we've got birds, we've got
Birds,
cats, and we've got like anything that flies, like a bee,
Oh, absolutely.
a moth, some kind of bug.
Squirrels, rabbits,
Yeah.
they have to be around. The liger is like in the anime, the liger was
Yes.
like that was the big enemy, right?
Yeah, that was the biggest troop of the hardest enemies they were up against.
And there can be a council of cats that kind of deal with the ligers and have a truce with them. And so the council of cats are sending these other
The
waves of enemies.
Illumakitty.
Oh,
the Illumakitty.
the Illumakitty.
The Illumakitty, and they, of course, as cats do, they only congregate at night.
Yeah, they worship the moon. Of course they do.
So the Illumakitty is going to be outside, and oh my God, I just imagine the noise that they're all making. Because if you ever get a group of cats outside, they're either going to be all meowing and going after the same stuff, or they're going to be meowing and fighting each other, and those are completely different meows.
Or that demon chirp that they do, like when they see birds. Have y'all heard cats do that?
I have, but I assumed that they were mating.
No, it's
No?
like
It's a
I
different one?
can't do the sound, but a lot of cats do it when they see birds. It's this weird chirping, and it's all teeth, and like it sounds like they're possessed by Satan himself.
Ooh, I haven't seen that, but that would be a good like reverse howl kind of thing to where
Yeah.
that's the intimidating factor for them.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So, but I think the other things would more or less be like your goblins and this and that you'd face in like D&D, like your lower
Yeah.
class creatures.
Like the squirrel, right?
Like your squirrel's definitely going to be like your goblin.
I would think so.
And then your rabbit's going to be maybe like your, I don't know, not necessarily like an,
Your knoll
maybe something along those lines.
or kobold.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just slightly
Squirrel
stronger.
is more kobold.
Then you got
Yeah.
then you can get up into more like exotic creatures and stuff too, like actually facing off against wolves, which are going to be like even more like just like you, and you're looking at them, but it would be like us looking at an ogre.
Right.
You know, because the ogres are going to be bipedal, and they work and talk and everything the way that we would, but yet they're ginormous and super powerful.
These have given in to that the beast side to where they are no longer quadrupeds.
Yeah, where they're no longer good boys, but
Yeah, they're just
boys.
bad boys. Yeah, they've given into that beast form to where they, that power, they just thirst for that. So they gave up being good boys.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And it caused them to have a bloodlust.
And their jowls are down to their waists.
So do you also have a gaming competition in this called a joust? To where you don't have a spear, you just run at one another as fast as you can and try to slap the other one with your cheeks. Is this what we're going?
I don't think that's how we want to clap cheeks.
But hey, in this game though,
maybe.
clapping cheeks with a joust, I think is a great
I'm
way
willing
to
to
do
give it a shot.
It could be part of the Iron Man competition if you want.
Well, we've got round 4 of the Iron Dog competition happening out here today. We've got the joust happening between the Mastiff and the other Mastiff.
That's the sound it makes when they're running at one another, just flapping in the wind.
Nothing like these two competitors clapping cheeks for victory. Who
And
will
no
be,
people there to make it perverted.
who will be
Oh no!
who will be the victor? What's that oozing from that set of jowls?
Dog juice.
Dog juice.
Dog juice.
I just thought acidy spit.
And then you have the entire crowd gasp, but just because one of them said, "I'm finished."
Canine finished?
Canine finished.
Oh no!
All those jokes are for the player. They all get it.
They get it.
Especially
they
if
understand.
you listen to this show.
Yeah, they
You
get
get,
it.
you get like a new one. Oh no! Nobody claps my cheeks.
No one claps the Chihuahua cheeks.
It's my first time.
So what's the big bad situation that's happening, or is there one? Is this more of a players can also play as the Illumakitty? What do we call it?
Illumakitty.
Illumakitty? Okay. The Illumakitty or the dogs? So is the PvP environment that?
I feel like you could just
Or
do
no?
like a. can
'Cause
be
it
like
is
it's
just dogs.
It can be like its own mode, like how a lot of shoot 'em ups have, the story mode,
Yeah.
and then like the online multiplayer mode.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think you could have a story mode where
Right.
your pupper's born and it goes and on this RPG style adventure.
Yeah.
And then if you can take that pupper into the other game mode where it's like, multiplayer battle royale type
Dead.
thing.
Dog eat dog. Right.
Yeah.
That's dead mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I could also see it being kind of like on the lines of Morrowind, whenever you would go into the werewolf mode, to where it was, you're with this certain faction, you act this certain way, but then you go into werewolf mode and nobody's safe. So I feel like, them crossing into bad boy would automatically make it a different gameplay for them to have. To where,
yeah, I like
That's
that.
when you can be invaded, like in Elden Ring.
yes,
So in this game, when you go bad boy, when you go beast,
you're a red character.
you're now like other players can enter your world, and then you got to fight them off as well as the PvE.
Yeah, because
I'm down with
because
that.
if you're a wolf style character, of course you're going to be territorial and you're going to have your territory.
Right, that's true.
So if your territory is invaded by these normal characters,
Yeah, but I do like that the idea of on this server, like our pack can all just whenever you log in, you're automatically in that world that each other has been in. So when you see that they've done something, like they've been digging for bones in a certain part of the map, and you go over there, the holes are there from where they've been digging, and you can't dig there anymore. But I like the idea of each of us shaping the world together that we want to play, and then whenever you go beast mode, that's when it's like, all right. But only whenever you go beast and you actually go bad boy mode and you invade other worlds, I don't think you should be able to mess with the environment there. I think it's just
PvP.
just
Yeah.
PvP, just that against that. Because that's like in Animal Crossing. You can go to somebody else's little island and look around on it, but you can't like dig stuff up and throw things away.
And like on Elden Ring, when you can go to the different graveyard settings and you can find the different small runes that you can use for experience, they can do the same thing, but just with bones.
yeah. See, I think bones is the other thing. Like there's the treats, and then bones got to be something.
Treats, energy, bones, experience.
I like that.
Yeah, I can
I
go
like
with that.
And then nappies.
That-
Revive some health.
That's
with
how
that.
that's how you recharge. It's like a long rest
Yeah.
or a short rest, depending on how long your nappy is.
Right. And there's got to be merchants that sell like different dog beds
Yeah,
and things like that, which in this world is just beds.
yeah.
Like there's no such thing as a dog bed.
Well, I mean, the dog bed is the daytime nappy bed,
Okay.
and then nighttime nappy bed is when they go to bed with their owner, and it's a full bed.
But
So-
there's no owners because it's just dog.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm correlating it to real life.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you get like a small daytime dog nappy bed,
Yeah.
that regens you a little bit.
Right.
A little bit of health.
Like a small potion kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah, exactly. And then when you get the big bed, you have a full nappy time,
Yeah.
which is going to bed for the night.
Yeah.
Boom, full health, full magic, full everything.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So are the ligers kind of like the dragon, like the big bats in this? Do ligers fly? What? No, a liger is just a lion and a tiger.
Yeah.
Right?
It's bred for its skills and magic.
Yes.
Thanks,
A
Napoleon.
griffin. I'm thinking of a griffin.
Yeah.
Yes.
A griffin is more of a.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got
Eagle lion mix.
Can we have flygers? If we have ligers, can we also have flygers that are like
I don't see why
flying
not.
ligers?
Yeah.
Like a dragon kind of type character?
Yeah,
we got to have
flygers.
some kind of aerial,
Well, I mean,
threads, right?
birds.
So she's a mermaid.
And flying squirrels.
And flying
oh, birds.
squirrels,
I
yeah.
forgot about the
Yeah,
birds.
birds.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
already inherently flying.
Right.
Yeah, so
But you do need a bigger, more scary bird thing. That's where
Yeah.
you can bring in the flagger.
yeah, the flyger, which is going to be the eagle, which even to the smaller breeds of dogs are some of the most dangerous.
Terrifying.
So yeah, get that eagle mixed in with a lion. Get your flagger.
Dude, since we do have the PvE story mode, I'm just trying to think of what the overall like story is. Like I know I know it's like the cats have got their little shadow government and they're working with the ligers and the flygers.
Ooh.
But
I had another light bulb moment.
please,
Okay.
shine
So
bright.
we start at, puppy mode,
Right.
opening eyes, oh, you're finally awake.
Yep.
Okay. And the whole adventure is you're looking for your dad. And at the end of the game, they find their owner. That's when they go to another world and they have a dad or mom to live with. See what I'm saying?
I'm gonna cry.
That's the culmination of the adventure. That's their journey to finding you.
The Rainbow Road brings them to this world,
Exactly.
to where they become our pets.
Exactly.
Yes.
and they keep that same attitude like they're warriors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like they've been, because most dogs act like they've been through some shit, even though they have lived just this pampered, fluffy life. They have been through some shit. I've seen some things, man.
Mine's a rescue. She was from the streets.
She's seen plenty.
She's scrappy. She's seen a lot of things before she found her dad.
Well, see, that's another thing that you can have at the beginning of the setting too, because in mini games you can choose kind of your background as the character, and you can be like the rescue thing. There can be that own little thing to give you certain bonuses.
Yep.
And then there's also like the pampered one, to where maybe your charisma is an 11 instead of 10, like all the other dogs in this game.
Yeah.
So I do like the idea of, just like in our world, they come from different backgrounds, so you get a little bit of a different stat coming off the base of it.
That rescue dog is going to have a higher survivability rate because it's going to be able to forage and find things out.
Yeah.
So its drop rate for items is higher.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
And Nola's never been to prison. There are dogs that, get
do go to
rolled
prison,
out of
yeah.
prison.
Yeah.
But, that's the pound for anybody who's wondering what I'm talking about.
Oh, and there's got to be a pound in this game
Yeah.
that
I was about 20 years old, and I broke my brother's dog out of prison.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a statute of limitations on that kind of thing, so I don't really care to say it. But yeah, his dog got out. He couldn't find his dog, and somebody actually called me like, "Hey, I found your dog," but the person from the pound, I forget, the dog catcher, got them. So they're going to the pound, and they took his dog to the pound, and they weren't going to relinquish him to him because they were going to some kind of test or this and that, trying to make sure the dog didn't have rabies or something else because he didn't have a proper tag on.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. But I just jumped the fence and got the dog out of the pound.
You're a good brother.
Well, that's something that our characters can do for each other, because if one of us gets captured, then you got to do a breakout mission.
I mean, look, I will do an Ocean's 11 style thing if my dog went to prison today.
Oh, yeah.
Hell would hath no fury, Tiny scorned.
No.
I'm going on record. Don't touch my baby.
No, the county would be
Unless you wanna
wiped
pet her.
off the map.
Yeah,
Like
you can pet her.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
you know what I'm saying. Don't do a bad to my baby.
No.
Tiny's not seen enough anime, and he's not going to understand the transformation that he's going through.
Oh, I can feel the anger boiling inside of me right now, just at the hypothetical.
See, we're bald, so our Super Saiyan mode, our beards just get long and pointy and blonde and just
God,
glowing.
sprouts and beads.
Yeah. Ooh, yes.
I'd go full fucking Viking.
Yes.
So,
love it.
Yeah, so that would be you'd have that transformation, because there's always an epic transformation inside of those animes whenever somebody's getting that power up. So Tiny's rage just, and then his oh man, that beaded beard look,
I would tear the world apart.
little energy beads along your beard to make you full blown Viking.
What about the clothing in the game? Because I mean, getting different sets of armor and stuff is one of the coolest parts.
Mm-hmm.
There can be just fun little like booties and little postman outfits like from our world. Yeah.
Hats and collars.
Little hats, yeah, like little bandanas and stuff, to where it's not completely removed from our reality. So like all the clothing in the game looks like something you could get in our world, but it does give them different like stat bonuses and stuff. Or are you wanting like full on plate armor and the funny cosmetics?
Just the funny. The
Just
funny
the funny?
cosmetics is the
Okay,
best.
I like that.
Because the idea of putting, let's say you have a Dotson, putting that in a hot dog costume, perfect.
Yes.
That's money right there.
Yes.
You can choose the amount of mustard.
And the wiener dog in the hot dog costume is like you get so many bonus like
Absolutely.
stats for
like
that.
Your charisma flies
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, like there's one costume that your specific breed that you've made, like that's their goal in the game. That's their like the treasure for you to obtain, is maybe even get pieces of that costume as you play the game, and once you unlock that full costume, you are in your complete mode.
You roll around for a third of the game in just the left bun.
Yeah.
you got a left hot dog bun on one side. You've got, I don't know, a tutu on the right side, and a pirate bandana around your neck.
It's perfect. That's exactly what I'd want to see.
So if Millie got an upgrade based off of what her outfit would be, if it fit her perfectly, it would be just a brown hood that drapes down most of her body and a bow and arrow, because she looks like an Ewok.
She does look just like an Ewok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would have to have something that makes her. We could probably even get this licensed with Star Wars if you needed just that one costume for her.
Yeah,
If you needed.
just Wicket's costume from
Yeah.
Star Wars
Surely they'll give us that for free.
Return
right?
of the Jedi. Yeah,
You can just tweak it a little
Disney-
where it's different enough.
Disney
Yeah.
is well known.
An
for-
Ewok.
Well-
Uwook. An Uwook. It's that
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, you love it.
That's too close to uwu, and I hate that so much. It's almost as bad as when people yell Jeep when they throw things.
Jeep or Yeet? No,
Whatever.
no, Yeet's
It
fun.
sounds the
if
same.
If you've never yelled Yeet when throwing something, you don't know the true joy.
I've tried it, and I felt dirty and
You
shameful.
didn't care for it much.
That's
No.
why you started yelling Jeep?
I mean, it sounds just as ridiculous.
Huh.
Yee, just that yee at the beginning, I think, is the real good part that you're missing with the
I don't
G,
know.
because I think G doesn't feel as good as yee.
You know how you get that throat sweat and you get like the basement floor
Like the
in your
throw
throat?
up kind of
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what you
what
get
I
from
get
that.
when
Yeah.
I even start to say that.
I think that's me for bruh. Like when I hear bruh,
Ouch.
like I think that one is where the vomit starts to build up for me.
targeted.
Oh, do you bruh?
I do, bruh.
You
on
do,
occasion.
bruh. Well, I eat on occasion, so
Fire.
I hate that one too.
fire. Yeah, I think we can all agree with that. one.
Fire's gotten
We
to the
found
point.
common ground.
Fire's gotten to the point where I just
Yeah.
don't want to hear it anymore.
I
Like,
never
that's-
liked
like-
it in the beginning.
Like, this shit is fire. Like, is it actual fire? Then it's not fire.
yeah, don't
it's-
touch it. It's hot.
Well, he's like, it's the same thing as radical.
I like radical.
Radical's great, but the radical's more built into our bones of old men.
Yeah.
New bones don't have radical in them. New bones have fire in them.
Bossa Nova.
Sorry, Bossa Nova, wasn't that a person?
No, Bossa Nova.
think
That's like
Casanova.
it's like another thing
I'm
being
gonna have
super
to go
awesome.
somewhere else for a minute.
All right, go relax inside your mind castle.
Go inside your mind castle.
Can we have a phone app, like a companion app, to where we can pet and feed and walk our character within this console/PC game when we're away, to kind of give them a little bit of like experience bonuses and stuff? Is that okay?
Not only do you have a video game at your house, you got your own gigapet of your friend
Yeah.
that you have on the game
Yeah.
on your phone.
It's like
Absolutely.
a Tamagotchi, but yeah.
I don't see why not.
Don't see why not? Okay, because I think I would really like to interact with them while I'm away from the game itself.
Can it be a little calculator graphics version of your friend?
I like the idea of it being more pixelated than real life, because then any phone can really handle it at that point, right?
Would that put it in Palm Pilot mode?
Paw Pilot,
Palm
Paw Pilot,
Palm Pilot.
Paw PAWN
Pilot.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of like Palm Pilot,
Yes.
but it's. I was trying to do a play on that. but with
you
dog
did,
paw.
and you
Yeah.
succeeded. I just made it a much harder road than it should have
Yeah,
been.
it's okay. It's okay.
It looks good on paper. Vocally, it doesn't sound much different.
No, it really
you're
doesn't.
right. You're right. But if I see it, because in your head you had the neon lights lit up,
Yeah,
seeing
I
it.
did.
Now I do. I see it perfectly now.
Palm Pilot instead of Palm Pilot.
You are piloting your character, your dog in the game from your palm.
Mhm.
Palm.
Your palm. Your palm. Instead of
Can
your
we just forget I said that?
No, we can't, because now it's part of the game.
It's like it
Because-
sounded so
'cause
good
you have-
until I actually heard it.
I
you
got
have it's
sweaty.
just dogs. So it's just dogs, which is the base game of the PvE, right? And then you have the dead mode, the dog eat dog mode, DED, and then you have palm mode, palm
Palm Pilot.
Palm
That's just when
Pilot.
you go mobile.
yeah, when you go mobile. So we got a lot of modes, and the creative character's perfect because you get every dog breed that you can think of, and you can mush two of them together.
Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
There's your throwback.
Heck yeah.
Perfect. And yeah, and we even have the ending set to where whenever your dog travels on, they're actually entering your world, so no dogs die in the game. Wow.
And I don't want
we
your
did
dog.
it.
I don't want your dog to be like killed. I want your dog to just be exhausted.
No, I don't want the
Right.
hurt dog sound, because anybody
Yeah.
else making the game, they're probably gonna be like, well, you need the squeal of the hurt dog sound. I don't want any of that.
No.
I want none of that.
None of that.
No way. Maybe the dog just says something, because they can speak common in the game, right? Can they talk or can they just bark? We didn't even cover that.
Oh, they can talk.
We can talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because-
Unless
unless.
you're a bad boy.
Oh, when you're a bad boy, it's just growls and grunts.
Yeah, you're fair.
Growls, grunts, and slobber.
Right. Lots of slobber, depending on the jowl situation.
Yeah, I think that would work just fine.
I just thought of a jowl stick instead of joystick.
Nice.
That'd be on the custom controller
Nice.
for the game. That'd be good.
Your
I'd play this game. I'd play this game now. Actually, it takes a
Absolutely.
lot for me to get into an RPG now because so many of them are so similar to one another. But I think because we could even do it in this setting this is more medieval setting, right? That we've kind of I think we've not said it,
I don't know.
but we've kind of got it in our heads,
In
right?
my head, it was kind of like just utopia, just fields and trees and
So you can
blue
cross
sky.
genres within that world.
Sure.
I think that
Maybe I'm just visualizing one area of this world.
I think that you should have your kind of your prairie wilderness / utopia kind of areas to where it's Garden of Eden-esque, to where you've got all your vegetation and your trees and all of this and that, and it could change every now and then to different types of trees and different swampy lands and like evergreen forests and da 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 da. But I think towns should all be different based on what they are.
What do you mean by what they are?
Like based on what that town is founded on. Like say that town was founded on, like your different areas that you'd have that would be associated more so with different classes. Like your different magical areas are always going to look more technologically advanced than say like your areas to where your your warriors guilds and stuff are going to be, to where everybody's like, slam your fist down, another one, or as opposed to the other ones, with your scientific thought and everything else that's happening too.
You could have a different breed be kind of the head dog in a certain area. So depending on that breed, that's what that area kind of looks like, and what the class that breed is kind of base set at.
I can see that.
Maybe to where you're thinking because with Dwarven, that's very technological. So we'd need some kind of breed of dog that's got more of that Dwarven kind of feel to it.
Pug.
A pug.
Yeah,
Pug. Done. Yeah, that's perfect.
I was going
100%.
to argue, and then I went,
You
no.
can't though. You can't
I
really.
couldn't.
You can't argue with a pug set up like a
Yeah.
dwarf because I bet they both breed the same.
Yeah.
I didn't. That's what
Breed is almost what you sounded.
It sounded like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
as
yeah.
breathe.
Yeah.
They breathe the same. They might breed the same.
may.
though, but
They
I don't
may.
ask questions.
They may.
It's hard to tell the males and the females apart.
Yeah. Doggy style's probably
But they
pretty.
both have beards.
Yeah. I'd say doggy style is pretty popular within the Dwarven community. But I don't know.
Who knows,
I've never
man?
been there.
Who knows?
I don't ask questions.
So, yeah, I think DLC can just expand upon that world. Because I was wanting like a one where we were in space too. Because with this
Oh,
one, I'm
yeah.
thinking fantasy, like medieval fantasy. And then we can have the space kind of DLC or a completely different game to where it takes it to
Well, that can be the
to
sequel.
sci-fi. The sequel be more space.
The sequel can be, all in space.
Well, this could all even be like Civilization style too, to where we're starting off in this medieval
Well,
kind of
yeah,
era,
yeah.
and as you're going through it, the dogs are figuring out more and more technology and science and stuff, and eventually you end up in space.
Like an Assassin's Creed, to where it's just dogs, but it's Assassin's Creed. So you're going through all these different time periods, and the dogs
Yeah.
are having to act the way that they do in those different time periods. The most technologically advanced one, but the way that you should do it is you should be able to keep your character and do like a new game plus if you get these new games that go along with it as expansions and continue your character, but your character has to adapt and adjust to every different world that it's in. So you can keep certain stats, but have to boot certain stats that no longer are relevant in the world you're going to.
Well, that's where the lineage thing comes into play, to where you still got pieces of your original character, and you're getting to continue through time, and you can make your characters very similar to one another. But I don't know about bringing them back from our world into the game.
Oh my gosh, that would be great though, because you could call it bloodlines.
Yeah.
And your bloodline, and you've inherited these in your bloodline. Like these stats are a part of your bloodline.
Right.
But you've only got this, and this one.
You had a bulb go off.
Yeah, if you was doing the Civ route,
Uh-huh.
the reset could be them achieving a pinnacle of technological advancement to where they're actually trying to force a rift into our world.
Ooh.
And they get close, like Tower of Babel style, and everything collapses back to primitive.
And then
that could be the reset.
Beginning.
Oh, and we're
That's
having
the reset mechanism.
and we're having to pilot through these worlds of lost technology and stuff that we don't recognize anymore. Just it's the ancients, but it's actually the most futuristic stuff you've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's Dr. Stone, the anime.
Is that what that is?
Something very like that,
Gotcha.
because what they're doing is they were frozen by this cosmic force, turned everybody to stone for about 2,000 years. And the ones who were able to get out of the stone, and due to different elemental features and things that would happen to their bodies, the stone would erode away, and their bodies would be able to be rejuvenated, and they wake back up, and they see the husk of the world that has all of the technology in, it's dormant and it's dead, but it's all still there. But they're having to operate on a primitive basis with sticks and stones and rocks and knives.
Well, it's like Horizon Zero Dawn. If you
Yeah.
guys ever seen that video game? They're like, it's mechanical dinosaurs in the world to where they're all having like primitive technology and stuff. All the people are, but they're these mechanical dinosaurs. How could this be in the past? Because it's not in the past, it's in the future, and things have taken humanity back down to their base form.
Yeah, technology
But-
took over and forced humanity back down to the bottom of the food chain.
In this, when the sequel comes out and the reset, or maybe no, that's the third game, because the second game can be the sci-fi, and the third game is the reset back to the other one,
Ooh,
but
yeah.
there's sci-fi elements involved with the
So
original.
it becomes post-apocalyptic.
Yes, and the cats are the ones that kept evolving through that time
Oh,
because
yeah.
they weren't trying to create the rift like we were. And so they kept evolving, and now they're like cyborg cats, and we're
Yeah.
back to the medieval style. So
Yeah,
now we've got
they
a lot of
somehow
problem.
fuse with that technology.
So you're having knights
Yes.
versus robots.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they're dogs.
It's just dogs.
oh my God.
It's just dog. We did it. Don't you want to play this game?
I do. Where
is it?
Bungie, Wild Card,
Bethesda.
Other ones?
not
Blizzard.
Not Blizzard.
I don't want Blizzard to touch
and
this
not,
game.
Not CD Projekt Red, because they screw it up.
They screw a lot of things up.
Then 3 years later, they fix it.
We need the person that made Stardew Valley. They need to be the person that does this and learn how to do a bunch of good graphics.
Hell, Supergiant. You could even do it.
Why not?
I'd play it if it looked like Hades.
Anybody. We need this game because this is a game for dog lovers and video game lovers alike.
I mean, I feel like we should get some royalties off of it, but I don't want to get rich.
Oh, I do.
I mean, look.
I do.
Okay, I do want to
Let's
get
get
rich,
rich on it, yeah.
but I also would enjoy being able to share this experience with other people.
Well, yeah, but that's
'Cause that's the joy behind it. It's not all about money,
Uh-huh.
but I want some money.
But once we get rich, then all of a sudden the podcast just becomes popular because
Hold
that's
on.
how that works.
I don't know
All
if
of this.
I don't-
This
I
is
don't
for
know
everything,
If this
right?
works for trademark.
Don't put it too
I think it
close to your
works for-
face.
I think it works for everything that
So
we just
we had to
talked
ring
about.
it slow, so that means trademark.
Right.
Instead of it being in canon.
Well, yeah, because when it goes to court, they really need to be able to tell that was the cowbell. So
Yeah.
It's
do
a
it real
trademark,
slow,
though.
just for them in the future. Thank you all for going through this journey of one sitting and us creating this video game. This didn't take weeks or days. It took literally an hour, and we created 3 games. So we've got the whole trilogy ready to roll. But we're not going to stop at that because we don't like the basic trilogy story. We like to go more than that. But you'll be a part of that journey. And we'll know you're a part of that journey because you've rated the podcast 5 stars, which means you listened to every word and loved every one of them. And then you went and bought a t-shirt on Teespring or something because there's a link to it. I put it in the episode description. You don't even have to go type anything. You just copy and paste it and you're already there. And you can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, with money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we get some of it.
That'd be great.
And then we get rich and then we make the video game and then everyone's happy.
exactly.
If you'd like to talk to us a little bit, get on our social medias. Look up Nerd It. Oh, grab.
Oh,
This is the
jeez.
first time I've slipped on
You
that.
went into boring business mode, man, and it failed you.
Yeah, my brain.
Just
brain.
start, just,
hold on.
just start
hold on.
yelling it or
I'm
something.
just gonna.
to make it more- There we go. Now they're back. We got them back.
Nerd Grapevine. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can talk to us on there. We can conversate a little bit. You can discuss with us what you would do with your dog in this world. What kind of character would you make your dog into, Jessica? You've got two to choose from. You've got a husky and you've got a Labrador. What kind of creatures would they become? And if you'd also like to maybe discuss a little bit further into our financial situations with us, you can contribute to it first by getting on Patreon and donating a little bit to the cause. Get a shiny holographic Nerd Through the Grapevine sticker for it and be able to unlock future content that we have not released yet. I mean, also just supporting us, that would be great. You know, it's not like I want to get rich because I can't fathom the idea of being rich.
I do.
But I would like the idea to maybe understand what it's like to just hire somebody willy-nilly to come check out the pipes at my house and maybe get a big enough bed for my dog to sleep with me and me not have the ability to crush her. So if you want to do that, get on Patreon. And whatever you do, do not talk about those big, floppy, moist secretions that come off of the jowls. Unless you're talking about dog eat dog, and it's only dogs, because that'll cause somebody to have a lot of...
Oh no, Step Podcaster. I dropped a link to Discord in our description. So go down there and pick it up. Come check us out.
Oh, the Discord feels so good.
It feels so good to be in there. We got memes and just all kinds of stuff. You just need to check it out. We're on there live, uncut, uncensored, irrevocably circumcised.
Oh,
we're also on YouTube.
We play video games. We have in the past. We'll do it again.
This is the time where Marcus usually asks the question, and I'm going to ask the question in Marcus's stead. Not in his memory. He's still alive.
No, he's still around.
He's still in places.
Just in his stead. Tiny, when life gives you grapes.
Well, for the second week in a row, I take the grapes and then I slowly masticate them in my mouth to form a grape paste. And then I spit it inside the wound of my fallen comrade because he just got took out by a Persian Siamese cat thing, and he has received a big old gash, and I spit the paste in there to pack the wound full so he doesn't bleed out, Steve Irwin style. And then I kind of bat his cheeks a little bit, kind of like shadow boxing, and then he gets kind of playful, and so do I. And so we do that for about 10 minutes, and then we kind of and then we sniff each other's butts.
It's perfect.
That is perfect.
It's how your character evolves, and it's just dogs.
That's great. I'm glad
You just slap cheeks.
I'm glad the grape goo didn't end in my ass like that Nair did.
Oh, the Nair! I forgot about it.
Brought it full circle.
I forgot about it,
Just
and
like
now
a
I just.
rectum.
Dang near killed him.
Nothing like these two competitors clapping cheeks for victory.